Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Leslie Weidenbender, and I'm here with Representative Jeff Thompson. He's a Republican from Lizton. Hi, Representative Thompson.
Good morning. Glad to be here. Thank you.
So you serve on the Ways and Means Committee?
Yes, I have been there for a decade.
And that's the budget writing committee.
That's correct.
Tell us how you feel about the budget that your group came up with.
Well, I'm quite well pleased. Of course, as you all know, it hits a record amount that we send to public schools in the next budget. And obviously there's been some tough times in our state, but we have reinstated that and of course now fund schools at the highest level ever, which I believe is a good thing.
Now, schools took some hits in funding a few years ago. Why do you think it's important to make sure that they get some increase this time?
Well, obviously the costs are going up. I mean, you have your costs and utilities and those kinds of things, and we have to be sure. And also teacher salaries have been frozen. That it was okay in the time, but it's time now to move forward and increase it.
Now, one of the things that the Republican budget also does is spend more money on roads. I know that's a special interest of yours. Tell us about that.
Yes, it is. I had a bill, of course, that would have done some of that. It takes the 140 or so million that state police and BMV, if you will, siphoned off from gas tax and moves that back and then use general fund dollars to replace that. Also takes about 20% of the state sales tax on gasoline. So about $250 million per year, which is significant. We'll go back part state and part local for roads.
Do you think that's going to be enough to, I know that there's a great demand for both state projects and local projects. Is that going to be enough?
Well, I believe probably will be. It takes about $200 million to maximize federal funds. And so at least we're above that at this point. So.
Now, I know that you're also going to be the sponsor of a bill coming from the Senate that would put a pause on the Common Core standards that the state has been implementing. Can you tell us what Common Core is, and then also tell us why you think there should be a pause?
Well, Common Core, of course, was adopted in DC by a consortium of governors and state education officials. We did not go through the kind of rigor that we've gone through in the past within our state in adopting standards. And I believe it's time to look at that and just see, is this the best thing long-term for Hoosier children? The bill passed the Senate 38-10 and kind of says where the Senate stands, and so at least look at it. Maybe when it all shakes out, that Common Core is the best. But let's be sure we're not going to shortchange our children, and let's look that over and really examine it from our own state's perspective.
The chairman of the House Education Committee says he's not sure whether he wants to have a hearing on that bill. Are you going to be trying to encourage him to do otherwise?
Of course. Yes, I will encourage him to hear it.
So you're also going to sponsor a bill from the Senate that would boost or would require schools to go ahead and teach cursive writing. Why do you think cursive writing is important?
Well, when I initially received that bill, I thought, is this bill a good bill? Sometimes you receive bills and not sure. And so I started doing research. And once you do research, you find out that this does have some merit, that those kind of things that children do when they learn cursive writing carry over into other parts of learning, which I didn't know. And so I learned that new, and so it appears to me it improves student achievement in the end. And I'm all for that, of course.
I know Senator Lysing tried to get this bill passed last year.
Right.
Do you think it has a better shot this year?
I hope so. Again, we'll encourage the chairman to hear that bill also.
So one of the things we didn't talk about with the budget is that Governor Mike Pence is proposing a tax cut. That was not included in the House budget. Do you think that that's a good idea, and do you think there'll be some kind of tax cut in the final budget?
Well, there is a tax cut in terms of inheritance. In terms of income tax cut, it probably depends upon the April revenue forecast. And with that and combination all the other issues out there in terms of our state needs, and likewise any remaining revenue, and maybe that's the best thing. And if it's the best thing, I'll support it.
Thank you, Representative Thompson. I'm Leslie Weidenbender for Comcast Newsmakers.